So this is Debrah,
Hi.
who lives on, what's this street again?
This is Cruz.
Cruz Street.
Yes.
And you lived on Component by
Yeah.
Apple, and then can you tell me what happened with Apple
we were
again?
there for about 2 years,
Mhm.
and we were managing pretty well, but it wasn't our property, so we had to go. And it would have been better if Apple would have just said, okay, you have to be gone in this amount of time, and because a lot of people got rid of their RVs because we were promised help getting housing, permanent housing, and it didn't happen.
So who promised you permanent housing?
Well, so this is what we were told is Apple told Home First, who was the people that they had chosen to facilitate and oversee helping us.
Yeah.
Not just so they didn't throw us off. They wanted to help us, and then we were promised counseling. We were promised, things like this, workshops, things like that. None of that happened. We did have a couple months of pet vaccinations, things like that. The doctors, everything was like, I don't know if it was because of COVID or how it went. It wasn't well planned or thought out from Home First.
So when the final time came and you would promise permanent housing, there was no permanent housing, and so you had to move.
They said that we declined what was offered, but what was offered was shelter at their shelter at Home First, a little orchard.
Oh, a little at Picardo Center,
or transitional housing. The tiny homes.
Yeah.
But there were conditions. We didn't have a place to park our RV or our vehicle, and so people that went there, now that the 3 months is up, and if they got rid of their home, they had nowhere else to go. There's a lot of us, we did turn it down because it's just like when we left Component. We were supposed to go to the safe parking, and that didn't work out with the city because the people around there didn't get to vote on it, and they weren't told about it, and we were told that, okay, yeah, you'll be able to cook, and and it'll be secure and everything like that. My RV got broke into. I mean, it was just
it wasn't run well.
It wasn't ran well. It wasn't thought out enough. But
did they include you guys in the decision making?
Well, we were asked, what is it that we needed to better ourselves and start becoming, going to work, work, things like that. So, and a lot of us needed help with our registration, or like with mine at the time, all I needed was the smog.
Yeah.
To pay for smog. That still hasn't gotten done. And now the program's over, and they say, well, there's no funding for it. There's no this. Well, what happened to the funds that Apple gave you?
That's a really good question.
What happened to it? We're told so many different things, and the people that are work with us, my case manager, or I call her my clinician, her mental health, Andrea, she's so good.
Oh, that's good to hear.
She still comes to help me.
I'm so glad.
Even though the program ended, she still comes, and I'm gonna cry. She still calls. And anybody else here, she says, well, what is it that we can do still to help you? And she's asked, well, what happened to the money that Apple gave you? And she's not even told.
Yeah.
And it's hard because so many different things happened, and we had 8.5 months of a motel, and they gave us lunch and dinner, 7 days a week, but a lot of us couldn't eat it. I mean, it was a lot of times we couldn't eat it. We weren't supposed to cook on the facility at the motel, but that would have been easier. It's little things. I mean, I know, and I feel like we're looking a gift horse in the mouth. I had a roof over my head, that didn't leak.
Yeah.
Well, some of them did, but then they gave us a different room. Things like that happened.
In an ideal world, what would you like to see happen?
There's an article, I believe it was Texas, that has a program and it was a whole community thing.
Haven for Hope.
I don't know what it was called, but it's
It was
actual,
a whole community
the
that
whole
had
community-
services
yes, all
and
facility in one.
Yeah.
They had the ones for the addict that needed just to get clean,
Yeah.
and the doctors, and I don't know how that's happened, but to me,
would you
I
go
would be-
if San
yes,
Jose
yes.
if San Jose built a Haven for Hope?
something like
Would
that.
you be willing to go?
Absolutely.
Do you think your friends would be willing to go?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of them actually employed the people that were living
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
So they not only got help with housing, they got income too.
Yeah.
To help, to because the longer you're out of work, the harder it is to go back and for people to hire you.
Right.
The longer you are, the longer you're displaced, the harder it is to get placed, and even if the funding's available, it's still transitioning and getting your mindset in. Okay, I have a place now. How do I keep it
Right.
clean? How do I keep it?
Kind of learning how to retrain yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and if the longer you're out, the harder it is. Not just for us, but for like people that are going to rent to you.
Yeah.
Well, why were you out so long? What was?
Right.
Why was it so difficult? Was it? And and a lot of it is the money, because I was looking at the rents, and even when I was working, I worked at Kaiser for 10 years.
You worked at Kaiser for 10 years?
I worked at Kaiser in Santa Clara for
Uh-huh.
10 years, and if my rent was, I mean, and I made good money, and I loved my job.
Yeah.
It was great, and there was a lot of things that happened, and it's hard to go to work when you don't have a stable place to put your head at
Right.
night, and then
And you have
start
to worry about your things being safe too.
That's a big thing. People walk by when you're sleeping day or night. It doesn't matter. People have gotten their generators taken.
Oh, jeez.
Just the one in the trailer that you can't see back there.
Yeah.
His generator got taken a week and a half ago,
Wow.
right in the middle of the day.
Wow.
And it's like, did you see it? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, how can they be so quick to do that? And why would they take from people who don't
have anything.
And then when you do, and you start to come up, why not let them keep going?
Well, I'm really glad you took a moment to
Mhm.
talk to me. And so what I hear you saying is you saw the Haven for Hope,
Yeah.
and you would go to something
Oh,
like that if that was
absolutely,
okay.
Because like I mean, it's like it's a whole community, and the
Yeah.
whole community, the whole town or the city
Yeah.
was a part of it.
Yes.
And I don't know, I don't know about the funding or the cost. It's like it's not just building homes and building affordable things for the homeless. It's not just about that.
Yeah.
A lot of what they built, like on 2nd Street, they put everybody that was in the motels and then ended up going to 2nd and Keys. There's so many that after their first year, during their first year, they didn't make it through the program.
Yeah.
And they had to leave because of not being able to conform or not.
Right.
I'm not saying that they didn't give them the chances, but they didn't teach them how.
How? So I hear what you're saying. I'm going to go ahead and
know?
turn this off. Thank you so much